Fridays with Geraldo segment tonight. Our pal Mr. Rivera causing trouble once again.
Hip-hop has done more damage to black and brown people than racism in the last 10 years. When you find the youngster, a Puerto Rican from the South Bronx or a black kid from Harlem, who has succeeded in life other than being the 1/10 of 1% that make it in the music business, that's been a success in life, walking around with his pants around his ass and with visible tattoos, or it is this whole ethos. I lament it. I really do. I think that it has been very destructive culturally.
Here once again is Geraldo. So predictably, Ruthell Thimmons, hip-hop guy, comes after you and all of that. But you know who's been saying this forever, and that's me. And you're right. There is a culture here, and it's what they call the establishment culture. And if you want to earn a good living, there are certain things you have to do to get into that establishment. And that's not being encouraged at all.
I think that it is different when you say it than when I say it. When you say it, it's like, oh, they expect that old white guy, what does he know about our lives? With me,
Are you referring to me?
Yeah. Good-looking old white guy. But with me, as a kind of insider, as more of a streety, ethnic Puerto Rican guy.
You used to be one of the young lords,
a lawyer for the young lords.
Wow.
They see me as a traitor when something. Listen, I lament that I brought this up gratuitously. This came up in a wide-ranging interview at Huffington Post, and it was in the Post-Celebrity Apprentice Glow when I was supposed to be celebrating my near miss.
This should be discussed.
I don't take back any of what I said.
It should be discussed.
Although I do, lament the fact that there's a lot of very good hip-hop rap music that I enjoy. What I don't enjoy is the fact that there is a lot about hip-hop that is self-segregating. I'm an old integrationist. I want everyone to live together. I want those people, like in my building in New York, I want anyone who can afford the money there to live there if they want to live there. I want people to be totally integrated. I want the kids in the South Bronx and Central Brooklyn to have a shot to make it. They will never make it if their pants are around their ass, with all, excuse my language, or they're wearing those perennial hoodies, and I'm not talking about out in bad weather. I'm talking about hiding their faces in the shadows of the hoodies. They will never make it in mainstream America. It is limiting and self-segregating.
But it's worse than that. In some areas, the peer pressure is to do that, which you say. But if you are a studious and respectful and well-spoken kid, you're attacked or ostracized. I mean, you're not cool. You're not with it because you're not hip-hop. And that really burns right into the fabric of learning.
I agree with that. And it is not just the fashion. The fashion is just the outward symptom. There is also the undertone that you have to be a bad guy. You have to have survived a near-death experience to be credible in the hip-hop world. Even the giants. Jay-Z, who's been to the White House so many times, Snoop Dogg, Puff, P. Diddy. I mean, all of whom had run-ins with the law. We emphasize their wealth and their success and their glamour without talking about, look at what happened with Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., the guy at T.I., Lil Wayne. There are so many who, 50 Cent, shot 9 times, he survived. So many who give the ethos that you have to be a marginal character and risk everything in a street confrontation before we will accept you and respect. And
right.
It is
right.
Exactly the...
Because
imagine what Dr. King would say if he heard some of these lyrics.
Once you reach 30 years old, if you're still in that mentality, you have no skills, you have no education, you can't speak English very well, you're not going to make a living in it unless you're just not. And this message is not being brought. And then a guy like Ruthell Thimmons, he's not a bad guy, but he starts to call you names and talk about an old guy.
Because he's very defensive. He's very defensive.
Yeah, because in his heart he knows what this is.
Because he has been promoting this whole alternative fashion and culture that I think, again, and the worst thing you can do is self-segregating. I hate when I see black kids all sitting at one table and white kids all at the other table. That's not the way I envisioned it when I was a civil rights attorney.
Now, do you think, I got to ask you one more question, do you think if I grew a mustache like yours and
I'd give you credit.
Spoke a little Spanish, that I'd have more influence in these precincts?
Go hang out with me.
Yeah, okay.
I'll take care.
I don't know.
Get that big blunt. We'll go on Avenue C. We'll hang out.
Yeah. right. You can just see that, right? And we'll get Trump. He'll come with
Trump
us.
will come with us, too.
That'd be
That was
great.
it.
Yeah, we'll all be down. Geraldo, everybody.